Thanks a lot for staying with us here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into the major conversations here on the show. I would like to say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, folks, Papa Path here. Newsflash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. And this morning you can go there and grab your home appliances if you need your phones, your laptops, your air conditioners, your CCTV cameras, anything you need to make sure life becomes very simple for you. Franco Trading Enterprise has definitely got what you need. And so please do well and grab all your gadgets from there. You can also download the app. Is on Google Play Store. It's the Franco Trading app, and then you can also do so by getting on our website to get all the details of what you can find, and the numbers you can call us on is www.francotrading.com. That's the website. Once you go there, you get all the updates that you need over there. And so we say a big thank you this morning to Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones, Papa Pathy, and here on the show, we're going to be looking at one very important issue, and I'm sure most of you out there have been following the evacuation of some Ghanaians who voluntarily want to come back home because of the growing concerns about xenophobic attacks in South Africa. And as the first batch arrived, we all saw the videos and how excited they were to be back home. Now, there was the need for a second batch to also come home, but the government is holding on or suspending the registration process to enable them take care of the backlog that they have, and then when they are done, they would continue with this. So yes, it's not totally halting the entire process. It's a suspension of the registration. We're going to be finding out some more from the High Commissioner to South Africa. He'll be joining us this morning here on the show. But in studio this morning, I've got Richard Suma. He's here with me. He's the Deputy General Secretary for United Party. Richard, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, my bro.
You had a good sleep?
Yes. Definitely so.
Great. And also here with me is General Amin. He's the Northern Regional Vice Chairman, NDC Communications team member as well, also here with me. Good morning to you, Chairman. I hope you're good.
I'm grateful. I
love your Fugu. You represented the Fugu Wednesday.
That's right. I think last week, yourself and Richard
yes.
Yes.
For not following the directive of the president.
For not portraying my own culture.
Especially him. Yes.
To come in that.
Yes.
My brother from the same area with me had decided
this man, because the directive coming from the NDC party, they will not wait.
The directive the president. I mean, we have only one president in Ghana, so we'll take directive.
They will not wait. They will not wait.
But Issa has been doing well with Fugus when he wants to, so it's not as bad. And I mean, it's not so well as well.
This is
they say Wednesday.
Because if Excellency have given a directive for no reason, you decided not to wear Fugu. It's positive defiance.
KMG.
Yes.
I mean,
he's indirectly talking to you.
Oh, is it?
You're also on the same attire with me, so.
But I'm one of the few people that did very well with the Fugu thing. I've did it for almost 2
I know. The last time you even said it when we were on the show, you encourage us to maybe do. I've forgotten, seriously. It escapes me. Other than that, I have a lot in the house that I can wear.
Yeah,
but I will admit that it escaped me. Not that I deliberately decided to wear it.
He will admit because he's one of the refined MPP guys we have.
Absolutely.
And who will not deliberately defy the
He's our president, whether we like it or not.
No, my And also joining us on Zoom this morning, we'll have His Excellency Benjamin Quarshie. He's the Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa. He'll be joining us here on the show as well. But first of all, before we even get into the major conversation, today is the 3rd of June. I don't know where you were, Richard, when the disaster happened.
Well, yes, I was in Accra here. Yes, I was in Accra. I remember it vividly. I think I was in Adabraka that very day. Because, my office used to be around the NCR office complex, right near Franco Trading. So I think I was up there when it started raining. So I decided not to leave. I was there until I heard the news. So normally we use the Kanishi route when we are going back home. So eventually this thing also happened around the Circle enclave there. But I had a lot of friends who lived in that jurisdiction. So in fact, it affected a lot of my friends. Some struggled, some really saw death. but they managed to escape. Yes, they managed to escape. And it was quite a dangerous situation some found themselves in. But have we learned any lesson? That is the question that begs for an answer.
The never again has never been never again. Anyway, but we'll move on. Isaac, where were you then?
I was in Accra. We watch all the scenes on television. And it wasn't easy watching even on television, let alone be present when the incident occurred. It was very sad. I saw so many things that I didn't wish to even see, because you see people burnt to ashes and they were being conveyed in a basket, a pickup basket, and to a mortuary, and it was very sad. I don't think this will happen to us again. I've listened to one of your colleagues who was telling us that it was the same Wednesday like today. And I believe it's worth mourning. We have to mourn the day because we don't wish that such a thing happens to us again. And those who are in authorities will also use it as a lesson to, but we still experience flooding in the circle and even around Accra. And I don't know how we are going to reduce that. I don't know the plans that the government or any other institutions who are in charge doing to maybe keep us or to reduce the flood in the city. Because me being in Accra, sometimes in Accra here when it rains, it's sometimes curtail a lot of things. People movement normally curtail, and sometimes you ask yourself, are we in the city of Ghana? And I don't think it's good for us to be in that situation. So our leaders should take a clue from this.
We can't be discussing this almost every year, flood, and it keeps happening. And this morning, quite extensively, we've had conversation around that and how eventually we can, all help to stop this. But then again, it's a leadership issue. It's a citizen issue as well, because we, the citizens, also contribute to this by dumping refuse just anywhere. Chairman, I don't know where you were and what you make of that. Your comment on that.
At the time, I was in my region in Tamale, like Issa said, monitoring the happenings in various media networks, and it was a serious issue. I mean, it was something that we can never forget. 3rd June, about 11 years on, what has changed? Like Richard asked, what lessons have we learned from this? I fortunately listened to His Excellency the President when he was addressing the Landing Hall meeting, and he spoke about the floods in Accra. Specifically, there are floods across the country, but that of Accra is serious. If you observe, and what the President has said, fortunately, I'm a planner. That's my professional background. And if you look at the topography of Accra, it's in a lowland. And if you consider the western part of Accra, coming from the where we have the waterworks, in Accra, where we have the waterworks, Weja area, towards Accra is a slope. In fact, towards that area is hilly, but coming towards Accra, the business district is slopey. And then considering the northern part, or is it the eastern part? That's the eastern region from Eburi coming down. It's just sloping towards Accra, and so all the areas surrounding Accra is hilly. So Accra is in a lowland. But you see, we could have been able to manage the planning and then direct the water properly to the sea, because if you look at those hills we're all talking about, they have channel, they have the water channel, we have the Odo River, we have many other sources coming to lodge into the sea. And so if the planners of Accra have done a technical work, they have done professional job, it's just a matter of the implementation by the district and metropolitan assemblies to make sure that the plans they have come up with, because the planning is done by the planning department of the metropolis and town and country planning, and then we also have a lands commission who implements the planning that has been done. And so if they're able to stop people from building on the waterways, we will not have this problem. Unfortunately, you will see certain lands that has been reserved to contain these floods. Unfortunately, our traditional rulers, who are the custodians of the land on behalf of the people of Ghana, are busily, selling out those lands to private developers. It's unfortunate that the trust of the people is with the traditional rulers. Unfortunately, they betray that trust because the lands are for the citizens. It's not for the chiefs, but they're just holding it in trust of the people. And so if that is what it's supposed to be, and the chiefs will go ahead to sell the lands, a land that has been reserved to cushion any pressure from the water bodies that will flow into the business area in Accra. It's unfortunate. But you see, they don't do it alone.
Wrap up for me.
Yeah, they don't do it alone. They do it in collaboration with the district assembly, with the town and country planning, because any permit that anybody that is coming up with a structure, he must have a permit. And these people, they do have permits. Who signed those permits? So when I heard His Excellency the President said that he's not going to, relent in punishing people who go ahead to sign permits for some of these developers, government must begin to, crack the whip. And then if there's any civil servant or public servant that is culpable in these instances, they need to deal with them decisively. Okay,
very well. Thank you very much, Chairman. And you can also share your thought with us. Send your messages to our WhatsApp line. We're streaming live on Facebook. I'm hopeful of that. And so you can also get your messages over there. We'll try and see how best we can read all of them here on the show. I also told you that we'll have the Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa joining us this morning as well. His Excellency Benjamin Quarshie will be joining us here on the show. So as and when I have the green light that he's with us, I would get to him to also get some updates from South Africa and what this suspension of the registration means and when it's most likely going to be getting back, so we can have our brothers and sisters who wish to come back home to us come back. Rich.
Yeah.
Over 1,500 people. We've had the first batch coming through. The second batch was supposed to have happened. Suspension has come in, and it's for good purpose, just so we're able to document and also clear some backlog and all of that. The South Africans are vehemently also speaking on the issue. Some are saying Ghanaians took a very hasty decision. Some say that what we're seeing is not what exactly is happening over there. Should we go ahead and still do what we have to do, or we probably should be listening to the South Africans, on some of these things that they are also complaining about?
Well, first of all, let me extend my good morning to all your cherished viewers, to my co-panelists, to your entire production team, to the people of Ho Central, and to the entire leadership of the United Party, both national, regional, and constituency levels. But permit me to use your noble platform to extend condolences to those who actually lost their life during the June 3rd disaster that really happened some time back. There are people who are still living with the scar. People who are still traumatized. People who are still very frustrated about what really happened. But you see, let us stop this hypocrisy of thinking that Accra can become a better place. We can resolve this flooding situation. We will be hypocrites if we should ever think we can resolve this problem in its current state. Let me tell you, in Ghana, do we have a proper drainage and a sewage system? Do we have it? We don't plan. The city, Accra, we need to have a new city. Let us table that discussion for national conversation. We need to have a proper city, a well-planned city, proper sewage, proper drainage system, everything well in place. Accra, you can break 1,000 houses when the flood comes. It is never, ever going to stop it. You see, in other jurisdiction, they get flood because of the excessive rainfalls, because of climate change and all these things. But in Ghana, since the 60s, we've been having this flooding. But since we overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, we have put our brains behind us. We've never, ever been able to plan this city properly. And let me tell you, it is only in Ghana where you go and buy a land from somewhere, they don't have provision for hospitals, they don't have provision for playgrounds, they don't have provision for resting place. We just said, we do everything haphazardly, and we are expecting a positive result. And the same people who are crying foul, that there rains everywhere, they are getting flooded and everywhere, they are the same people. I live around Weja. Okay, like what my brother is saying, Kwame Nkrumah reserved a vast land downstream of the river. Okay, for the purposes of spillage, when they spill, they must have a pathway for the river to be able to flow smoothly into the sea. You know, people, as we speak today, every year there's disaster, every year there's flooding. But can you imagine that people are still buying the lands? Are you getting me? So when you come there, you know vividly well that there's a problem here. But Ghanaians still want to buy that land at all costs because there is no proper national planning. In Zimbabwe, in other jurisdictions, lands are vested in the state. But in a situation where the lands are vested in traditional authority, that is why we are finding this problem.
Yeah.
The state must be the custodian of all lands in this country. That is the only way we can make progress. Because the chiefs, some of them are not properly functioning. They are not thinking right. So unless the state take full control of every state land or every land in this country, in consonance or in collaboration with the traditional authorities, but no traditional authority can sell a land. Go to Zimbabwe, you dare not sell a land without government approval. You dare not. But here, we sell it to 10 people at the same time, then we laugh over it, and we leave it like that. So I say, if anybody should tell you that we can stop flooding in Accra, if you like, go and break all the houses, we will never, ever solve the problem unless we build a new administrative city with proper sewage system and move all government workers into that city. Okay, then the ones that are left behind, we reallocate it and break them down and replant the city. That's the only way. But this same way, we will only be doing lip service to ourselves and making a mockery of ourselves. So that one, we should leave it aside. Now, this issue of South Africa and the xenophobic attack and all these matters arising. Yes, I've always maintained that regardless of the fact that it's a global village, people have the right to move, people have the freedom to choose any country of your choice that you want to go there, live there, stay there. But you see, that is not the way it's supposed to be. It is incumbent upon every country to create that enabling environment for people to thrive. In the first place, Ghanaians should not get to South Africa and be stranded because the kind of footing Kwame Nkrumah gave you today, it's not a Ghana who is supposed to be gallivanting around. We are in Colombia, we are in Pakistan, we are in all manner of unnecessary countries. Why? What are we looking for? Because the system here has failed us. The system has failed us. Do you know that those who came back from South Africa, government has given them 5,000 cedis to establish? How many Ghanaians have we been asked to queue and be given 5,000 cedis so that we can invest into our small tabletop businesses before?
This is a peculiar situation.
That is what I'm telling you.
Of trying to
People are in this country trying so hard to create jobs, trying so hard to make a living, trying so hard to do petty, small business, which we call enterprise economy. We need to promote it. We need to encourage it. Are you with me? But here lies the case. They need just a basic money like about 2,000, but nobody ready to give them. But those who came from South Africa, we gave them 5,000. I'm not against it. Are you with me?
Yeah.
But should we develop this mindset of let us have an enterprise economy where we can identify young graduates, we can identify various businesses at various stages of incubation and capitalize them, rejuvenate them properly to make good business and employ people. Why should people go to South Africa? Others go to South Africa, they are only going there selling tomatoes, selling oranges, selling petty fruits. Are you getting my point? So this conversation around whether they should bring the rest of them back, I am not for it. I am not for it. Because in the first place, who asked them to go to South Africa? Even though it is incumbent upon government to protect our rights wherever we are, who asked you to go to South Africa?
Just the same way others have gone to the UK, the US, Canada, and all of that.
What is happening there? What is happening? Yes, what is happening there now is agitation. The South African citizens are getting agitated. And it is in their right. Nobody should dispute that fact that South Africans don't have any right to expel any foreigner in their country. You dare not say so. Why? In the 60s, didn't we expel Nigerians from here to Nigeria? Didn't they also expel us back to Ghana? It is a norm. It is happening. The only thing is that it's supposed to be a state-sanctioned event, not by some hooligans and barbaric citizens. Are you getting my point? Yeah. It's supposed to be a state-sanctioned. Look, and most of you are in this country undocumented, and you are doing things ultra-virus. You are doing things out of your power as a foreign person living in our country. Therefore, we want to curtail all these your activities by asking that you do A, B, C, D, or you go back to your country.
Like what Donald Trump is doing.
Of course, Donald Trump is a legitimate way of doing that. That is it's a state-sanctioned event. All I'm trying to say is that government of Ghana should not create the impression that they are loving too much. You know this issue, they have turned it into politics. Is it the first time we have ever evacuated Ghanaians stranded in any part of the world before?
It is not. It's not.
It is not. But the foreign minister is creating the falutin impression that they have done so well. Kwame Nkrumah, wherever Kwame Nkrumah is, he will be happy. Wherever Kwame Nkrumah is, he will be severely disappointed. Why should Kwame Nkrumah be happy because we want to evacuate some 300 Ghanaians from South Africa to Ghana? So Kwame Nkrumah,
the circumstances, lives were getting,
I am telling you,
serious trouble. Some were dying in the process.
So how many Ghanaians lost their life in this instance? How many lost their life?
Number. I mean, if even one Ghanaian.
How many Ghanaians lost their?
Even if one Ghanaian loses a life, it's important to us as a nation.
No, that's what I'm saying. In this situation, in this very instance, how many Ghanaians lost their life before we run there and say we are bringing them?
Do you think that we should get to the point where we have about 10 people dead?
I am saying sometimes we make a storm out of a teacup. I am not saying that they shouldn't bring them back. I am asking how severe, how dire is the situation for which reason government is spending so much money to go and bring them home. In the first place, there are some of them who went there, they went to misbehave, spend all their money, cannot buy ticket to come back home. So they are waiting for such opportunities to capitalize on it and get a free flight and come back home. At the first instance, what were they doing in South Africa? They're all supposed to be here with us in the gutters, in the gullies to develop the country. You ran to South Africa because you see it like Europe. You get to Pretoria, it looks like London, so you don't want to come back. And then when they are telling you go back to your country, you say, oh, they don't have the right to say go back to your country because it is Africa. Africa can never unite.
It's not possible.
It is not possible because when we are tempted to even unite ECOWAS, to spend one common currency called ECO cash, ECO or something.
ECO.
Respectfully to all my brothers there, where is that conversation now on the table? It has been buried, thrown somewhere, because they know that it cannot ever happen. So in a nutshell, I am expecting Ghana government not to create the impression that they are doing something extraordinary. It is the right of the citizens that wherever we find ourselves, the Constitution says that protect us home or abroad. So if there is a situation very dire and you want to bring them, I'm fully in support of it. But my conversation is that the rest that are there, now you realize that now they say 1,500 have applied to come back home. So that means the situation is beyond xenophobic. Some of them, their situation is more than xenophobic.
They need the tickets back home.
They need a ticket. They can't buy ticket.
Okay. Richard, let me go.
So if the rest, government of Ghana want to pause it or truncate the process, that is fine. But as a matter of fact, we shouldn't make a storm out of a teacup over this issue at all.
Very well. Let's speak to the High Commissioner to South Africa briefly, and then we'll come back to the table. His Excellency Benjamin Quarshie is joining us this morning here on Zoom. If you can hear me, good morning.
Good morning. MJ, how are you?
I'm very well, and thank you for your time this morning here on the show. I know it's been a lot. Your table, your office has seen many things over the last few weeks, but you've rose to the occasion and you've contributed to everything that we're seeing right here. And we're grateful for all that you're also doing for Mother Ghana out there. A very big thank you to you once again for making time for us this morning here on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Some of the conversations have been around the people who have come to the embassy hoping that they will be able to come back home. As it stands right now, what's the situation with that? Are they sleeping at the embassy? Are we making other alternative arrangement for them to be able to spend a few days before eventually we get the flight for them back home?
Thank you very much. Let me say a very good morning to your panelists also and our viewers. We have provided accommodation on a couple of occasions, but this time around, we are rather focused on increasing the numbers that the people will be repatriated. We have 2 flights. First flight will be at 1 a.m. on Sunday. The first flight will leave actually at 11 a.m. on Saturday. And then the second flight will leave on Sunday at 5 a.m. So what has happened is that because the numbers are huge, we are coming home with almost about 700 of them. We didn't provide them with accommodation, but we are so happy that the churches, the businesses in South Africa, the Ghanaian businesses in South Africa, the Ghanaian churches offered to accommodate them. What we are doing is to give them 3 square meals a day, make sure we take care of their needs when it comes to those of their kids and others. We've done that religiously till now, and we are hoping that once this process closes, we will forge ahead with the second phase of whatever we want to do. Let me quickly speak to the issue raised by the last panelist. If you are not in South Africa, you will not appreciate what is happening. If indeed you are here, you would understand that the situation has become dire to the extent that not only Ghana, Malawi is taking out almost about 2,000 of its citizens. Nigeria on Thursday is taking out its first phase of citizens that are here. It's not a matter that we are exaggerating what is happening. You should be on the ground to understand and know the frustration our people are going through and know the kind of inhumane treatment being meted out. We had to quickly airlift a group of 5 Ghanaians from a place called Escort in Durban. These are gentlemen who had their own businesses, had run these businesses for the last 10 years. One mayor wakes up in the morning and says that, go back to your country, takes the key of their shops, their investment for the last 10 years, and gives the key to locals and says, take over the business. I've sacked the foreigners who are owning that business. After doing that, we were constantly in touch of the Ghanaians in that area. There were just few, about 10 or 15 of them. But their lives were in danger. They had to run into their rooms, lock their rooms. What to even eat was a problem. What do we expect government to do? We expect government to turn its back against such inhumane treatment.
Your Excellency, and these are documented people?
Yes, very much documented. Wow. There are 10 in number that have voluntarily agreed that they want to come to Ghana on Saturday or Sunday, leaving their business, leaving their properties, running for their lives. And that is one out of a lot of the issues that we have. There's a Ghanaian that has been in ICU till now, beaten to pulp by these South Africans when they went to her shop, asked for her documentation. She gave them the documentation. Then they said, give us money. She said, no, but you asked for documentation. I've showed you the documentation. They said, why are you questioning us? Beaten to pulp, struggling and for her life as we speak in ICU. So wow. It's not been a decision that was lightly taken. It's a decision that a lot went into before that decision was taken. And we think that sitting at the High Court here in Pretoria, I believe that this is the best thing that government has to do and government is doing.
How are the people taking the suspension of the registration? Those who are in a hurry to leave the country, those who can't take it anymore, and now they have to wait for a few days, a few weeks, maybe a few months, depending on the decision we make eventually to, come back to the registration exercise to ensure these people come back home. How are they taking it, and how are we ensuring their safety as well?
Let me confirm this to you that we've registered virtually everybody.
Okay.
Now, after the registration, the documentations are taken to the offices of the Department of Home Affairs. They go ahead, they vet the people, and then come back to us and tell us that these people are qualified to travel. Now, we've done that for almost 1,500 of our compatriots. which covers all the number of everybody who wants to leave this country. Now, we've suspended it because we saw that the numbers were done. We have 1,005. Why won't we allow the Department of Home Affairs to go ahead and vet those people and bring the documents back to us at the High Commission? That is the only reason why we suspended it, just to ensure that there's efficiency when it comes to how we are able to repatriate them. It's a whole process, and we don't want it to be have a lot of backlogs that we'll be dealing with. No.
And the vetting is necessarily to look at those who genuinely want to come back home, or those who are in effects, because there's also the understanding that certain people want to come back home. They've not been able to secure themselves flight tickets to come back home, and so they're using this as an opportunity to come back, and then maybe after 6 months they find a way to mobilize again and go back to South Africa.
So the screening is not on our terms. The screening is done by the officers of Home Affairs, Border Management Authority, National Security of South Africa, and also the Police Service of South Africa. We are not part of that intensive screening that they do. They would find out whether there are criminal records.
Okay.
They will find out whether you are genuinely in the country. They will find out how did you come into the country. Did you come through the land borders or through the airport? They will find out every information that they want to find out. And once they are done, they bring the file to us and say, this person is cleared and this person can travel and go home. Now, when they bring us a document, then we at the High Commission also do another set of screening, where we find out genuinely, is this person going to Ghana because they are under distress, or they want to go for the sake of the flight tickets that they are buying? Let me put on record here that we tell them every day, when your fingerprints are taken through this repatriation process, the screening, there's no way you can come back to South Africa. Automatically you are banned. Those that are undocumented, they know you can't step here. You can't use any other thing. You can't come with any other passport because your fingerprints have been taken. And they circulate it on their database. So we tell the Ghanaians, if you want to go and come back, they've told us clearly, South African government has told us clearly, that anybody that comes in again after this whole process is done illegally, what they are going to do is that there's a compulsory sentence of 10 years onto that person. So we've told the Ghanaian citizen, don't take this chance thinking that you are being smart, thinking that you want to go and come back, thinking that like the other panelists say that they cannot buy tickets, but none of them has withdrawn. So it means that most of them, or even all of them, are going genuinely. People who don't want to come back again.
Moving forward in the near future, we understand like the way the South Africans are also defending this whole attacks and making it look as though we've exaggerated the situation. How do we intend to still, for the safety of those who will be left there, those who want to live there, those who have made families and they believe that it's not happening maybe where they are? How do we intend to make sure that we still, protect those people whilst they live in South Africa?
I think there's a systemic malfunction in South Africa. There's a need for them to have a civic education, for them to understand that the world has grown. We don't live in an animal kingdom. Things are done in a certain way that is acceptable. Norms that across the world, everybody has practiced till now. We're not saying that illegal immigration is not a challenge. It's a challenge everywhere. It's a challenge even in Ghana. But the approach to which it is being handled allow the state institutions mandated to do these checks work. Let them do their work. Don't take the laws into their own hands, harass people, expose your ignorance when it comes to immigration activities, and want everybody to listen to you. I don't think we have to mince words when we have to talk about and call out the South African, the ordinary South African, because it's become a norm for them. There's nothing wrong with it to say, oh, leave the country. Look, there's a warped analogy that most of them are saying. Oh, they'll tell you that, yes, Africa helped us, but Africa didn't help South Africans. Africa only helped Nelson Mandela and his family.
Yeah.
If you want anything, go to Nelson Mandela and his family. You don't think that these are people that have lost touch with reality and their history? Until the government brings them to be understanding and takes cogent steps, because government is being lackadaisical. There's nothing the South African government is doing to resolve this issue. That is where we have a challenge. Because if there was anything being done by them and we could see, then everybody would say, oh, they are trying to solve the matter. Absolutely nothing has been done. The demonstrators are walking free. They are threatening people every day. And so for us, we believe that in as much as we want to believe that we don't have any row diplomatically, we think that we demand more from the South African government and will continue to rightly do so.
All right. Before I let you go, there are Ghanaians who have done videos and also speaking against the way Ghanaians are, making the whole issue look like South Africa is a bad place to be. I don't know whether you've seen any of those videos. Ghanaians that are living there and they are asking people, are we all living in the same place these Ghanaians are saying they are living? I don't know if you've seen any of those videos as well.
No, I've not seen any of those videos.
Okay, I've seen a few. Yesterday I saw another one, a Ghanaian that is saying that they also live there and they don't think that, the way we are looking at the situation is what it is there in South Africa. But anyway, I'm grateful for your time this morning here on the show. And if we need any other clarification, we're definitely going to come back to you again. But once again, thumbs up to yourself and the entire team for being swift on this situation. And we pray that God protect and guide you people as we go about this.
Very well. Thank you very much, MD. Thank you.
Great. His Excellency Benjamin Quarshie is Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa. Joined us this morning to elaborate on the issue of repatriation and the suspension of the registration. They are, hoping that it returns when they are done with the backlog and all that. Isa, let me have your take and then I'll come to Chairman as well.
KMG, let me extend my greetings to the good people of Western Region and then the incoming President,
Alan Chairman.
Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia.
I thought you wanted to say Alan.
Oh, the incoming president is Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia.
I know it's Alan.
So I extend a very warm
Chairman knows this who.
Very warm greeting. For him, he doesn't know
who
is coming, so he can't even greet any of them. If he happens to greet one of them, then he's in
trouble. He'll greet the current one.
He's a current executive member, and while he goes ahead to greet one person, then he has a problem. So he will not even dare do that. He will greet the His Excellency the President.
And that's it.
But the incoming President, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, is standing by. By 2029, we saw him in as President of this country. This xenophobic attack is becoming too much. And I believe authorities who are supposed to handle this particular situation has failed us. We have organizations like the AU, that's this African Union. We have ECOWAS, and we have the UN. We have laws that are governing this situation. The United Nations Universal Declaration is also there. They have a lot of laws as to how we govern our countries, how we protect citizens who are in our countries. Those things, xenophobic, this is not the first time that they've started. I think sometimes when they realize that the citizens have settled, or those, what do you call it, settlers have settled and their business are going well, then they go after them, chase them out, and then take over their business. That is what they've been doing all this while. But I don't think the punishment that is supposed to be exerted on those people, on the country, the penalties, the compensations that they need to pay, they are not, after all this while, they've been going away with it free. So they will come back all the time and attack us.
From what the ambassador is saying, even the South African president is not bothered about this.
But you can see, even on the videos, you look at the videos, you realize that the security people are around. They are even encouraging the people to do so. So the perpetration, the act that they are doing is illegal, which they are aware that they are doing illegal. Even if somebody immigrated into South Africa illegally, without papers, that is not a way to handle such a person. Even if somebody goes in there, if somebody is on a asylum, and you dare touch that particular person, it goes against human rights violation. You know, the violation of human rights and the Declaration of the Universal Universal Declaration of Human Rights is there. That when you touch such a person, you violated the rules. Yet they are beating people up. They don't even separate whether the person has a legal document or not. Once you settle up, I've seen a video where I don't know whether the person is a Ghanaian or any other foreign settler. He has a shop. They went and broke into the shop. Everybody was, I think he's selling these electrical gadgets.
I think the ambassador was making reference to some of them.
Yes.
One of those.
And they are looting. Just because you don't want to work, somebody should come and sweat, build, and then you come and take it away. It's a pure robbery. And I believe that we need to, after this particular day, we need to petition the United Nations, we need to petition ECOWAS, we need to petition AU. They need to be proactive. They need to make sure that those who have lost all their earnings should be compensated and given the opportunity to also be heard. Because you can't just wake up one morning and say you don't want anybody in your country. And I was listening to one of them, one of the South Africans. What he was saying is that it's illegal for any foreigner to come in and settle a business. And you know we have such a law in this country. You know I think Ghana Investment Promotion Act that was passed in 2013. We have it that a foreigner has no right to trade petty businesses in our central market. You know that. Are we not having foreigners who are doing that?
Some register with Ghanaian citizens and then they are able to...
No. We have a lot of foreigners like Nigerians. We have other people who are doing petty business, who are hawking around our central market and all doing all manner of... but it's against our laws. Have you gone out there to say that those people should go back to their various countries because they violated our rules?
The last time they tried that in Kumasi, it didn't work.
Yes.
Remember that there was a case of Kumasi, some people saying that the Nigerians... It
will not work because our security agencies will not allow you to take the law into your hands and then perpetrate some kind of a violence act or harm.
Against
anybody. Yeah. Because we have a security, we have people who are in charge of that. If we have immigration problem, we have the immigration laws, the immigration people will take over. They will have to investigate and know those who are violating those rules and then deal with those things. But you don't go in just because you are a citizen of that country, then you go in and say, I'm going to apply force and then remove the person from the place. You can't do that. And you say you don't need those people in your country. Now, foreigners that they are talking about, are the white people staying in America, in South Africa, are they not foreigners? Why are they not chasing the white people away? But the black people who are with you, who are like you, who even sympathize you when you are in trouble, they are the very people that they are perpetrating this act on.
I've seen a video of them doing a few times. It didn't work because they were retaliating. The white folks were retaliating. Some would dance and all that.
Exactly. But because we are vulnerable, they have to come after us. And one guy, he's a friend of him, I think South African, they were very close together. So he ran to the person. The person told him, I can't protect you. Wow. Well, the best thing you have to do is that you have to leave this country. Other than that, when they come, I will have to expose you to the people for them to deal with you.
Interesting.
You understand? No matter how close you are with the person will give you out for them to deal with you. And they are beating you as if you are a thief, common thief. And I believe that it's something that is unacceptable. And this country, we need, after evacuation of those people, we have to evacuate them back. If somebody say people are saying they are not, the situation there is being exaggerated, and that they are not in that situation. The person who is doing that video, why is it that people are willing to come back? Somebody who has paid hard money, travel to South Africa to go and hustle, will be struggling to come back when there is nobody chasing him. How can that be possible? Will you subject yourself to this when you have business in South Africa, operating in that business, and the business is going well, and you're doing well in South Africa, and you just one day you just wake up one morning and say, I'm going home because people are pursuing me, and it's something you are exaggerating upon yourself just to come back to Ghana? They should look at the videos very well. Those who are doing that may not be saying in South Africa. Maybe they are in different country and they want to water down the situation.
Okay.
And I believe that our foreign minister is also doing well by registering. I think that minister is saying that they've registered almost everybody.
Yeah.
And now...
The ambassador says that almost everybody's been...
The question I'm asking is, have the situation will be getting worse if they still leave them there, and then we settle the situation and this and that, the matter in a negotiation table. You know, all these things we need to engage the government. We need to engage other people. We need to talk to them. If they will be safe for them to live there and then manage their resources that they've left behind, why don't we leave them there and negotiate with the other foreign countries, and then we'll go to and the South African government for us to settle this once and for all. Evacuating them back, how will they get all the resources that they've left behind? Other people have their bank accounts there, they couldn't even have access to them. Yeah. Other people have their their companies operating, they have to flee. And all these things, I think that nobody can just come and say somebody has built his company for almost 10 years, employ people and the company is running. And you just come in because you're a citizen and you take over the company and say nobody should say anything. I don't think it should go scot-free. Compensations need to be paid, and then the government should suffer for it. When our people, Gambia, the Ghanaians were attacked in Gambia, didn't they pay for that price? Why is South Africa so special that they cannot do that? We held those people accountable, and they pay for compensation, huge monies to those who were victims of that attack. Why is it that South Africa, anytime at all they perpetrate this kind of heinous crime on our people, we let them go scot-free? Are they so special than any other African country?
Very well.
I believe that these countries, the government should not let it slide. We should make sure that we deal with the South African people and let them pay the price.
Anyway, some are saying that we should also start telling the companies that are working over here to move back to their country. Others say we have not gotten there yet. I don't know what Chairman has to say.
Yeah, so let me say good morning to our cherished viewers, to the rank and file of the NDC, especially in my region, the Regional Executive Branch Constituency, and the Regional Council of Elders. I think that I've listened to both of, three of the people you have given the opportunity to speak on the issue. And then I also listened to Excellency
Benjamin
Quarshie, the ambassador to South Africa. My brother, I think Richard's submission and the issues that it came up with has been addressed by Benjamin Quarshie. Yeah. But I think I side with Issa. I'm sure Issa is, like I said when I was going to say, it's not like the MPP, some of the MPP savages who will always want to play politics with so heinous situations like this. But once again, let me commend His Excellency the President, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Okujoto-Ablakwa, for the swift, the timely intervention that has protected Ghanaian lives in South Africa. I think that we have had these experiences in several countries where Ghanaians were killed. Even in this situation, no Ghanaian has been killed, but the report is that about 8 Mozambicans has been, killed in this struggle. And so if government has moved out there to protect Ghanaians, that is a plus to us, and that is the show of responsible governance. Because any citizen outside the country, the source of this country, especially within the AU countries, we must show and be responsible towards them. When I listened to the president during his submission on the London Hall meeting, he made mention of an amount of resources that is coming into this country in the name of foreign direct investments. These people are not here to work and also to struggle for the same jobs we are struggling for, but they have taken the initiative to move out to sell Ghana out there. Most of the shops you see out there, they sell Ghanaian products. If you want to eat, watch it, like yesterday, the Excellency was in London, and he has gone to a watch shop to showcase what Ghanaians are doing there. This is a plus, and this is the marketing strategy they are deploying out there. And so it is responsible for government to protect all these people. You remember in 2005 when we had this issue in Zambia? Was it in Zambia? Yes.
In Gambia.
In Gambia, yes, in Gambia, where 44 Ghanaians were killed. In fact, they were not just seen and shot and killed. These people were seen, arrested, incarcerated, and later they were killed. During the processes of the arrest and the incarceration and the time they were killed, there was a foreign minister, there was a foreign ministry, there was a government in place. What did they do about it? Is it the same experience we want to have as a country? No. In fact, the immediate past president was the foreign minister, then when President Kufuor was the president. And these people sent distress calls home. There was distress calls home, and they did nothing about it until these 44 people were murdered. It was only one person who survived this heinous crime, one Secretary, right, who today is still struggling to come in terms with the relatives on what happened at the time. And so I have listened to other commentaries, especially from the opposition, who want to not even focus on the happening, but they are talking of how much, they want to know how much government invested in evacuating these Ghanaians. This is irresponsible considering. I mean, this is thinking, to even be thinking about how much cost at this particular point in time. It is a sign of irresponsibility, and that is what is happening today in Parliament. Every little thing that they need to contribute in salvaging the situation of Ghanaians, they want to pull it down. They want to make government look bad in the eyes of the Ghanaian people. You cannot evaluate, you cannot equate a single Ghanaian life out there. In fact, any amount of money that is spent to evacuate these people, you cannot, just posing it to the number of people who died in 2005, you cannot do that kind of comparison.
But it wouldn't also hurt if we decide that we want to put that amount of money involved.
Not at this time, my brother. At the moment, Ghanaians, they should be adding to the voices, encouraging Ghanaians out there to come back home and convincing the South African government who is dragging its feet in allowing Ghanaians to come home.
But that's a government decision.
That in actual fact,
it's a government decision to bring those people back.
It is a collective
also upon the government to be able to let people know how much it takes to.
No, but not at this time. The project is not over.
You account for
the project of evacuation is not over. Like His Excellency said, many of these Ghanaians are still being even registered and are yet to be brought home. The amount of money that is going to be used to be compensating, they should be calling that at the end of the project. At the end of the project, there should be a committee to report to Ghanaians how much money has been sunk in protecting precious lives of Ghanaians out there. But at this point, we're calling is just to distract the process and make government. It's too early a call, because the NPP in government, like I said, even at in 2005, those who were killed, their families are yet to be compensated.
Yeah.
21 years down the line. The Nenado, who was the foreign affairs minister, has become a president for 8 years, and he did absolutely nothing about the situation of these people who he supervised their killings. Because he was the foreign minister. So if something had happened, when I say supervise, he had a responsibility that he refused to act on.
But that is not supervision.
No, fine. So in quotes, supervision.
That's not supervision.
In quotes, in supervision, in my own terms, in supervision that is supervising. Because he has a responsibility.
You still want to force.
You cannot. No.
So it's not a supervising of the killing.
You still want
it's not a supervising.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
It is not taking responsible action in ensuring that is different from supervising the killing of the people.
He ought to have been responsible in protecting precious Ghanaian lives, which he failed absolutely. And so you cannot now be calling for the president and the government of Ghana to tell us, even at this point in time, when about 100 and about 1,500 Ghanaians are still registering to be able to evacuate it. I mean, what kind of irresponsible governor? I mean,
so when the process is done, there will be an accountability.
The point here is that. That's right. The point here is that I expected the leader of Parliament, the minority in Parliament, to be conducting a press conference this morning, to be, because at any time they try to run government down on certain certain issues. So if government is doing well, they should be responsible enough, like Issa has done this morning, to tell government that government is doing well and the government should continue to do well, instead of calling for something that we are not even there yet.
Even upon commending the government that the government is doing well, you still have certain questions to ask. And you need to pursue the government to do certain things that are right.
I'm saying that it's my time. I'm coming. It's my time. It's my time. No, I had observation when you was bad. I allow you.
I'll come to you.
I'm saying that you don't cry before the pain. You don't cry before the pain. Okay? So what are we measuring now? What are we costing now? Is it the 300 Ghanaians? You want them to do a press conference and tell how much they have spent on that? Is it the compensation or the support they have given them to be able to survive in the system whilst solving the problem? It's why you want to calculate. This is irresponsible opposition. They should go back.
Come on, you are showing all of us on this table that at the end of the day there will be some sort of accountability.
I'm saying that the government has been in office for the last 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Government has been very, very responsible in its expenditure. We came to meet certain debts. Government settled them. You cannot point to any act of corruption or any alleged corruption in this government for the last 1.5 years. And so they should have that hope. They should be sure that government is going to be responsible, as it has always been, in making sure that Ghanaians' lives out there is properly protected. If there's a need for them to evacuate every Ghanaian in South Africa, this government is going to do that because we have done that before. You remember the Kotoko Asebi Musa or something in
Asebi Musa.
Yeah, Asebi Musa match. When people were attacked and killed, immediately government went in there to evacuate Ghanaians who were there immediately, and they were compensated immediately. So please, I mean, it is true that the MPP will always, try to throw something in their spokes to halt the process. Yeah. But I'm saying that, His Excellency John Dramani Mahamad's government, of which the Foreign Minister Ablakwa is leading the Foreign Ministry, will be responsible enough to protect every life, every property that the Ghanaians hold in South Africa.
When they need okay, I'll do some few messages. Let me do some few messages. I'm sure you
have a couple of issues
as well, so that we can wrap up nicely on that, because we have the anti-LGBTQ.
Yes, we'll fast track.
So let's not push too much.
Sure.
This was good morning. I'm Eben from Kwabenya. Honorable Majority Leader Ayarga said it right, and I agree with him perfectly that nothing to reconsider about the anti-LGBTQ bill, period. Also, the kind of minority we have in Parliament, you need to be build consensus with. They are pulled me down people. Bam. Greetings to Honorable Julius Debra, Chief of Staff. All right, let me have the next one. We don't have time for many of the other. Can I do it from here? Okay. All right, I can't. So please help me from the back end. Okay. All right. Let's go to Teacher Kojo. He says, assuming Anado had assented to this LGBTQ bill in 2024 under duress, can you imagine the harm the NDC would have brought upon the country? Why are they afraid to sign it as it was, but they have edited, deleted, cannibalized, diluted, altered, revised, and changed to almost every clause? Getting to Honorable Eric Nana Ajman. All right, let me go to the next one. What do we have? This one says, good morning, I am Okai from Bantama in the Senate West District. This so-called small Middle East crisis has exposed the exaggerated fuel price management claims of the NDC government. They inherited strong reserves, rising gold prices, successful debt restructuring that created significant fiscal space and relatively favorable global conditions. Yet they spent months telling Ghanaians the economy was in ICU. Today, even a modest external shock is testing those claims. Imagine they had been in office in 2022 when the world was battling post-COVID disruptions, soaring energy prices, and record high inflation across major economies. The truth is that managing the economy is easier in opposition than in government. All right, let me go to the next one, and it says, good morning to you. To all, to call a spade rather than a big spoon. Legislative instruments are fundamentally enacted to regulate human conduct. However, before their codification, these bills must interface with pre-existing traditional customs and societal values. It stands no reason, therefore, that any statutory law or bill which conflicts with fundamental traditional norms, values, and customs must logically be rejected and denied entertainment within our indigenous structural settings. And that is Aaron Babakoko Komisai and Antabio Koch who sent in that. Let me go to K from Pong. Can I have no? Okay, all right. Good morning, KMJ. They should leave them there. Nobody sent them there. The money used to bring them should have been used for development or given us seed capital for the youth who live in Ghana here. Master Boy sent him that. Okay, some people believe that we have to just leave our brothers and sisters there. Can I get K from Ponce on as well? I think he has something to say. With regards to petrol. It says, good morning, KMJ. Petrol is now selling at 15.20 Ghana cedis. It's sad how things are unfolding in Kenya. The Black Stars need serious prayers, else it will be a disaster at the World Cup. I think strongly so, because I don't understand why we had played football to that level and we just sit back and the people will just equalize. I think we need, at this point, it's not the players. We need proper prayers. Anyway, good morning, Mr. Host and your intelligent panelists. The media houses and those who are professionals in discussing the issue of flood in our capital city can continue. But until the government make up their mind to put away the fear of losing the next election and do the right thing, this will always find space in the discussions every year. The traditional leaders and authority know the writing to do as well as the government as a way of curtailing this problem. But each of the party has an interest with the traditional authority having the interest of getting money, while the politician thinks of continuing his way in power unabated. Do you think that the mayor of the city doesn't know the buildings that are found on the waterways? And do you think, okay, that's a long one. I'm not able to continue. Let me see if I can do others. Good morning. Why can't Parliament talk about food price in the market and do something about the high food price? I know parliamentarians are rich, so they don't care about how we suffer. Instead, they are busy discussing this unnecessary bill on LGBT, politicizing it with no sincerity. All right, maybe I'll do two more and then we'll move on to the table. Let me go to Stephen Opoku or Repentance. Any of them is fine. This one over here says, that's Meshach. It says, today is exactly 11 years, June 3rd, disaster happened. May God continue strengthening the families who lost their family members and breadwinners. The government has a role, have their role to play, same as the citizens. The indiscipline in this country is too much. For instance, we all know the consequences in which when it rains, but people are still buying lands and building. You lost me there. And okay. Good morning, KMJ. Africa is on its own enemy and should stop blaming colonial masters. If at this age and time we treat ourselves as animals rather than building our continent to catch up with others and make our people enjoy and live comfortable and meaningful life, our disease is complete lack of leadership. Stephen Opoku in Saki Pong Katamanso sent in that. Pretty much that'll be all the messages. If I have time before we wrap up, I'll do some of the others that you're sending in there. You have only 1 minute to do this.
And yes, and also have some 1 minute.
LGBTQ.
Okay. This issue of blame game taking us back to the Gambia issue and then starting to equalize. And look, the fact that I said that the foreign minister has done well by evacuating the people back home doesn't mean that there are no lapses in there. So if there are lapses that somebody see, and then the person is pointing out to you that these are things that we need to do right, it doesn't mean that the person is criticizing you. You people, when you are in government, it looks like you are afraid of critics. Look, the governance is about criticizing and then you looking at the loopholes and then fixing them. That is how governance is. So don't be afraid of any critics. So if the minority is telling you accountability and all these things, it's part of your duty. The responsibility, you are telling us that we should clap for the government for evacuating the people back home. What is the responsibility of the government?
What was the responsibility of the government then?
No, I'm talking about today. What is the responsibility?
The same people who are criticizing today are those who failed to save Ghanaian lives.
If you are saying
what are you talking about?
The responsibility of the government at that time, if you are taking us back to the Gambia issue, the responsibility of the government at that time, when those heinous crimes were perpetrated, it was not done openly. You know, it was done secretly.
These people were not arrested and killed the same day.
I'm coming.
There were distress calls from these people who were arrested.
It was not done openly.
There was distress calls to the foreign affairs ministry,
it was the foreign embassy,
and they failed
investigation into this.
No, and it was one Mr. Ochiri.
I'm coming.
Ochiri who survived this killing and came to the embassy to report that his colleagues have been killed.
No, you told me that it was your time.
No, because I don't have.
You told me that it was my time.
It was not any investigation. There was not any investigation. allegation. It was one or two.
No,
Even those Gambia
see, we have to talk about the LGBT.
Even the Gambia issue that you are talking about. After MPP left government in 2008, it took you people good 8 years. You never attended to the issue. MPP government, they started paying the compensation after the MPP government has gone through all the process.
Okay.
It was January 20.
I know we are going to a new subject. I know we are going to a new subject.
It's your 1 minute.
You have exhausted your 1 minute.
Good. And I think
no. He said they are
chairman is also coming back.
Let me read. If you allow me, I'll read out. I'll read out.
Let me have you take.
Yes. No, Mr. KMJ, my last point.
You see, there's another special.
I'm saying that Martin Chile
don't want to go.
Martin Chile who survived. Martin Chile who survived.
Let us
the family are still crying for compensation. So for instance, to mislead your viewers that compensation has been done.
Let us establish the fact. Let us establish the fact that it is incumbent upon government to bear full responsibility of the citizens, whether home or abroad.
Exactly.
That one is a fact. There is no ambiguity about that. But there are instances where maybe they might find themselves in more very difficult situation, but they wouldn't get that needed help immediately. That is also part of the system. But in this situation, I'm asking you that if we have evacuated the so-called, 1,500 people plus to Ghana, are we trying to say that the next time around when they say there's some xenophobic attack going on in South Africa, we no longer have Ghanaians there? Are we evacuating every single Ghanaian in South Africa and bringing them back home? Probably no.
No, I'm sure.
So this issue is about looking within yourself and finding solutions to problems at home. I can bet my last penny that there are several Ghanaians today, they just need 5,000 to 10,000 cedis to augment their businesses, and these businesses can do well. Do you know something? The recent All African Games held, they said we spent about 2.something billion cedis. Look, take 100,000 Ghanaians, 100,000 youth, women, young boys who are doing all manner of businesses that you see that they have the tendency to grow. Assuming you give everybody 10,000 Ghana cedis, 10,000 cedis, okay, to augment their businesses, and you identify 100,000 of your youth or citizens, how much would it cost you? Just 1 billion cedis. But we are quick to use 2 billion plus to go and waste on some all African games without achieving any result out of it. So I am saying, in order to prevent some of these things from happening to the nearest future, let us look within. The youth that are in Ghana, 16 regions, what are we doing at all the regional levels to create that enabling environment for them so they don't go there?
That is a genuine.
As for this one, we cannot ask government to give us cost now. Okay, though they must give us a hypothetical budget that perhaps going to cost us this amount, but we cannot ask them for details as we speak today, because maybe there may be contingencies that they may not be able to factor in immediately. But nevertheless, governments upon governments, we have failed them. That's why we, for another party, we are proposing a transformative agenda. We are looking at the enterprise economy. We are looking at diversification of the Ghanaian economy to ensure that we create that enabling environment, properly enabled environment, not this wishy-washy. Not this wishy-washy environment they keep talking about.
Honorable Afeyomakin's post on LGBT.
KMJ. If the 24-hour economy that these people have scammed us, if it were to be working, will these people travel to South?
You see, you are.
If your one district, one party doesn't work,
your ignorance.
Look, was supposed to give us a lot of jobs. That will enable us to work.
This is for the minority.
Unfortunately, the one district, one party, they're going somewhere. Who failed?
Gentlemen, let's move on. Let's make progress. It says a law that imprisons people for their sexual orientation or who they choose to love does not protect society. It simply selects a group of human beings and makes their existence a crime. That is a line no parliament in the civilized world should cross. Now, he says this one was not his handwriting. His pages were compromised in a way. But whether it was true or not,
How can we verify that it was compromised?
No, he himself said.
No, he's saying it doesn't mean there is sufficient justification for that. He's a lawyer.
So even if somebody, if it happens to be his own thing, and he came to deny that he's not the one who did, you have to hold him out?
No, of course.
And so why are you saying that?
Of course.
So that simply means that he's not a man of his own words, and we cannot take him seriously and make any statement.
But that is just.
But no.
But this particular one.
There are pages of social media that are always complained.
No, I agree. Based on what Issa had asked, I'm just saying that. Assume he did and he came out to deny. I'm just saying that means that
he didn't do it. So
that means that he's not a man of his own way.
He didn't do it.
But
the story keep on changing.
So, Chairman, as at this point, where we are right now, the speaker has spoken. Majority leader says that there's nothing wrong with it. Whatever it is that was passed, we believe was supposed to have been passed.
Yes.
Why are we here?
Yeah. So I think that it's a very difficult situation for some of us to make a blunt statement on. But the fact is that there are procedures in Parliament of which someone outside Parliament has accused that there was no quorum in taking that decision. Someone outside Parliament. But Parliament itself, especially the minority, has not proven to Ghanaians that, truth be told, there were only 34 people in Parliament, so there was no quorum. Parliament has not said that. Minority has not said it. It's just someone outside Parliament. And so I will take that word of the majority leader, who says that all the protocols, all the procedures were followed in taking that decision. And so we move on that. If there are issues that our opponents thought that was not properly done, they could have argued it out in Parliament. Now the law has been passed. It is going to the next stage, where His Excellency the President will ask the legal people in his office, together with the Attorney General, to look at it and see if there are any technical issues. That's why he said in London that it is not an immediate something that will do today or tomorrow. For the fact that Parliament has just passed it, he's not just going to pick it from Parliament and sign. It still has to go through certain protocols. And that's exactly what he said. Even though I have seen on social media some of deliberate, and that's why I call them savages, the MPP. That's why I call them savages. Because
that's the MPP's new name now.
No. I mean, their behavior. Sometimes they begin to behave as though, even when they know the truth, they will not say it as it is. They are just focused on their own agenda, trying to do propaganda with everything that happened into this country. But the facts are that His Excellency the President and the NDC promised a reset agenda. And I'm saying that even before elections, we in our manifesto, some of these questions came up about the LGBTQ stuff. And His Excellency said, look, when it is sent back to Parliament, because Nanado refused or failed to do it, because he was supposed to ascend his signature, to make it a law. He failed. In fact, we saw a letter coming from the Minister of Finance, a minister who has been there for 8 years and cannot even stay in this country after losing power, directing the president not to sign because it's going to affect our international economic activities or financial activities. Because according to him, there are certain donor facilities that we get as a country. And when that thing is ascended on, we will lose out in getting those resources. And so he has asked the president not to sign. And the president never did. This is someone who was the closest in government to the president. And so the president and the finance minister has a lot in common. You understand? That's why he failed to sign. So I'm just saying that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going to sign this after the Attorney General and his office looked at it. In fact, after looking at it, the president will assent to this and make it into law. And we are committed. The NDC is committed. The NDC is committed in upholding the values of the Ghanaian. And it is this attitude of a man sleeping with a man and a woman sleeping with a woman is not part of our culture. And nobody, no tribe, no traditional background, no religious background in Ghana accept to that. Individuals are living their lifestyle. So it is good the minority leader, Afino Markins, have denied writing his own Facebook on his Facebook this space. Because if he had agreed that it was written, we would have used this one even though the MPP is collapsing, we have this one to just finish the MPP. But really, he has denied that. But let me say that, like I'm saying, the NDC is a moral entity. Ghanaians are a morally. There's nowhere you go. When you open a radio station every day in Ghana, every morning, you hear the churches preaching and they are talking of the word of God. Just like we see in the mosque and many other religious bodies. Even the traditional rulers, they frown on some of these things. And so for us as a country, because of a token we'll be getting from another foreign country, then it will be attached to some of these conditions. That is not Ghanaian. And that is not what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will accept to happen in this country. Okay. So those who are patronizing it, they begin to behave in a way, they should begin to run away from it. Else, when the law is passed, they will be dealt with according to the rules that is inserted in that law.
Isa, let me have your take on that. Thank you very much, Chairman.
KMJ.
Yeah.
First of all, he misinformed the listeners that Nana Danko Akufo-Addo refused to sign the bill. President John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, sitting as a president today, told the whole Ghanaians that the bill never got to Nana Danko Akufo-Addo's desk. So my brother sitting here in this morning, telling me that the bill was on his table and Nana Danko Akufo-Addo refused.
Can I show a letter signed by the finance minister?
Please, when you were talking.
So if it has not gotten to him,
please, senior, when you were talking, I was quiet. So it's a palpable lie for you to sit here and tell us that Nana Akufo-Addo refused to sign the bill. The simple question we are asking today is that the bill that they have signed, is it LGBTQ bill, or it was just a document sent to Parliament for them to endorse?
Do you have representation in Parliament?
The question has not been answered. And let me give you the insight.
There are two different documents that have been sent.
Yes, of course. The first LGBTQ sponsored bill, we were told by this particular government, the propagandists, that the bill is not going to be in the same form. It was now going to be sponsored by the government. The bill that has been passed, was it sponsored by the government?
Private.
Good. Yeah. But the president said it was going to be sponsored by the government itself. It never came to pass. The other one is that, why is it that they've done so much amendment on this particular, the current bill has been amended.
Yeah.
What is wrong with the old one? Ghanaians are asking, you went to the market with the old bill, market yourself with the old bill, told Ghanaians that this is the bill that we are bringing to you. Ghanaians bought your message. They voted it into power. They gave you the mandate. You came in and you now sit down, look at the bill, and then remove those that are not favoring you, and then insert in certain things.
Well, they said there are clauses that would affect certain people
who
professionally will be doing their job. Like, for example, if somebody like me comes to sit here and I'm talking about LGBTQ as a professional, I may find myself in trouble.
He talks about principle and morality. Are they principle enough? Do they have the moral? The morality that they are talking about. You sat in Parliament when amendments were to be done about this particular bill, you fought against it. You said the current form of the LGBT bill is enough for us to take to the president for the president to sign. And even the current communication minister made it very clear that Kenya took the bill, MPP, the private sponsored bill.
Yeah.
And what they did was to remove Ghana name and place it with Kenya. And they pass it in their country. What is wrong with this particular bill that Ghana cannot pass?
But you also agree with me that this bill has really gone through a lot of amendment, even under your government.
No, I'm talking of
because
the bill that was passed.
No, I understand. I understand. But I'm saying I'm talking about the processes that this bill has
you see, when you are talking of amendment.
Even under your government, it went through the same process. It is going through the same process now. What is making it so difficult for any government to just pick whatever it is?
You've even made the whole thing very simple for me.
Yeah,
it went through a process. Amendments were done.
It's been going through
amendments were done.
Yeah.
And they came to a conclusion that this is the right bill for us to pass. Is that also? And then the 8th Parliament passed that particular bill.
Yeah.
And then they took it to the president. You said
he refused to sign.
No, you said
the president. He didn't sign, and he gave reasons why he was not signing.
That is what I'm thinking now. That the president, I wasn't there. You made it known to the Ghanaian people that it was on the desk of the Nana Akufo-Addo, and Nana Akufo-Addo failed to sign. But the president today made us understand, because he's in the government. He took handing over notes. Is that also? He made us understand that the bill was never on the table of Nana Danko Akufo-Addo for him to assent. it was not gotten to Nana Akufo-Addo?
Because it was supposed to be processed from Parliament to that. And there was
why do you lie to the Ghanaian people that Nana Akufo-Addo had the bill and refused to sign? Why do you lie to them? And the same bill that Nana Akufo-Addo, you said it was, he was supposed to sign. You came and you said the bill is dead. You have to go back to Parliament for verification. Is that not so? You took it back to Parliament in the same form. Why do you go to amend it? When you knew very well that the bill is very good, the standard is very accurate, and you want the Ghanaian people to consume it, why do you go into to amend about 32 clauses? Why do you go and do it?
So you think it's deliberate?
Not deliberate.
Attempt to water down.
No, you see, NDC lied their way to power, and I'm telling you that very soon they are going to be exposed, because all these things that they are doing is to drag their feet. The president, you said, he is even saying that the president is going to assent to it. The president himself is telling us that he has to go through a process. You didn't even believe that Nana Akufo-Addo under him, he has a technical team that will also look at the bill. But when the bill was being passed in Parliament, you said Nana Akufo-Addo to sign it the following day. Today, it has been passed. President is telling us that his legal team will look at it again and then advise him. So if the legal team advise the president that this kind of form of bill is not good.
So when Nana was advised that, so that's when Nana advised not to.
So don't be
become Attorney General to advise the president on bills.
We are talking of
since when has the finance minister assumed the position of the Attorney General to advise the president not to sign bills? Since when?
It's a land and let me
make my submission.
You have your turn.
Your time is up for 30 seconds.
Don't be furious, because
I'm not. Come on.
The principle, what we want the NDC government to do is that they need to come and tell Ghanaians. They need to apologize to the Ghanaian people that they lied to them when they were campaigning against the NPP government. Because those things that you are amending today were proposed by the
what is there for the NDC?
Let me do my submission.
Yeah.
Quick issue. Let me start on the premise of my brother saying that NDC lied to power. I want to make it clear to him that has been the format of all of them. They also lied to get to power in the last 2016 election. No, because it's a fact. I want to draw the line. No, you said the lie is coming to power. No, you are not lying. That is the norm. That is the norm.
When you made a flawed submission, you are the norm.
No, when somebody makes
when you make a flawed submission,
Richard is on the floor.
I'm coming.
No. But
anytime I go, you make a point, you come and then you put it together. You think
we'll allow a flawed segment?
I am coming. I'm making a submission. No. I'm making a submission. I'm making a submission.
I'll give my 10 to you.
I am saying.
I'll give my 10 to him.
I am saying. Now, let me do a proper analysis of the issue. We all have come to admit that we have a moral issue to address, which is about LGBTQ issue. We have come to understand that if we allow it to fester, it might affect the generations come, because we may create the impression that it is an acceptable norm, which we all believe that from the days of Adam to today, man sleeping, woman, man dog, man animal, it is not an acceptable norm anywhere in the world. But the West now is trying to force that on us, to accept it hook, line, sinker, that now, because of fundamental human rights, everybody should be allowed to do what they want to do. Nobody can develop a society based on fundamental human rights by allowing a man and a man to be sleeping and getting married to each other. That is not an acceptable norm anywhere. Now, we must also encourage private member bills. Respected honorable members put together this bill and submitted it to Parliament. It went through all the debate, the first reading, second reading, the third reading. Every stage of the bill went through the appropriate process. Isn't that the case? And then now, back then, perhaps it was more like a balanced Parliament, but NPP hold to the right that they were the majority in Parliament then. But then don't forget, I disagree with members of Parliament when they know vividly well that perhaps there are certain clauses in that bill which may be good or be bad. But we allowed it to sail through the system, Then after passing the bill in Parliament, the bill is not supposed to be transmitted to the president. Isn't that the case?
Yeah.
But if you listen to what the Constitution is saying, they said there are two ways. Either the bill is transmitted to the president, and upon receiving it, he will then not make his recommendations and amend or proposals back to Parliament that I've received it, but I've noticed A, B, C, D. Can you take it back and rework on it? Then after he gets back to Parliament, and after all these deliberations done, it might be signed within 7 days. Isn't that the case?
Yeah.
Now, we had a new norm where now the president is telling Parliament that don't even transmit the bill to me at all in the first place. That means the desire wasn't there, the willpower wasn't there. So if at the end of the day, the desire wasn't there, the willpower wasn't there, and the process truncated along the line, and that 8th Parliament elapsed, a new government has come to be, and they are saying that they are taking another look at the bill. In any human society, there's always a room for introspection. I am coming.
Richard, I'm surprised.
There's always a room for introspection. Oh, I am coming.
With your principles today.
I am coming. But every law, I have not landed yet. I'm not giving them any credit. I am saying that every law must bite hard enough. If not, there's no purpose of signing that law in the first place. But if you look at the bill that NDC is proposing, what they have brought forward, which they hurriedly went to pass it in Parliament, that bill it is of no use at all. It is better you don't even pass it in the first place, because if you are telling me somebody who is promoting it, somebody who is sponsoring it, somebody who is doing all manner of things is allowed, is accepted, there is no criminal conviction to such person, where is the law going to work? Where is it going to bite? Then again, they are now telling us that the bill, they have considered certain things, and at the end of the day, people who are found to be defending them or promoting it, they are not going to be culprit of anything. Then what do we want to achieve? But to conclude on this matter, I still have a challenge with the bill, especially incarceration. The bill is not talking about that too, because now, if I am a gay, you have arrested me, you have taken me to Isawan prison, you are going to put me in a male prison cell. Isn't that the case? So are you solving my problem, or you are festering it the more? So I would have expected that the bill should tell us that this category of people, this is how we are going to handle them when they are found guilty. Are you getting the point? So that means there are a lot of lapses in that bill, and because it's a national interest bill that has the future in mind, that has generations and posterity at heart, I am supporting the speaker. Once that there is a room for their own standing order that allows for a reconsideration of a bill, we should take a second look at that bill and properly scrutinize it very well, especially with the aspect of incarceration. How are we going to do it? So if NDC is now telling that they have hurriedly gone through the process and passed that bill, I am beginning to believe that they are also just trying to hoodwink us into believing that they have the desire to pass such a bill. But at the end of the day, a bill that cannot bite, or a law that cannot bite, it is of no effect. So let us support the call by the speaker. Let us bring back that bill to Parliament. If it is already in Parliament, it has not gone anywhere. Let them reconsider it, relay that bill, and let us all make input. If we are saying today that we are going to build a new prison system where anybody who is found guilty of lesbianism or gayism, we are locking all of them in individual cells when nightfall.
Richard, let me ask you this question. You have the Constitution with you here.
Yes.
I believe you are conversant with the Act 29, which is
the Criminal Offences Act.
Criminal Offences Act.
Yes.
And then the Constitution.
Yes.
Didn't these two acts and then the Constitution criminalize something we call the unnaturalized?
Yes, natural canon knowledge. The law is already there.
So the paper that they signed at what do you call it, at Parliament, what does it seek to gain? Have you gone through it?
No, I've only read certain aspects of the act. I've read some aspects of the act.
You realize that it was just a paper that they signed. There is nothing in it.
So KMG, to wrap up for my brothers to make their final comment if they have the time. is to say
there's
that.
There's no time actually.
It's to say that. MPP, when I mention MPP, my brother gets very discomforted.
I don't know.
But you see, my problem is that MPP is creating the impression that society was forcing Nana Akufo-Addo to sign the bill in its first instance that it was passed. Who forced him? Nobody forced him.
I never used the word force.
No, not you. The impression the NPP communicators are creating that, we forced Nana Akufo-Addo to sign the bill in that state. When we know
that is not here.
That's a generic statement. It's a generic statement. It's a generic statement. And most of the communicators are still making that conversation.
Don't make it look like.
Not Issa. Issa I didn't hear him say so. But my point is that every human society, anything that you want to do, and it's a matter of law that has people's rights and liberties at stake, you must do it properly and ensure that you don't leave any stone unturned. That is all I'm saying. And we should look at the incarceration system very well. Are we going to keep these people together with the same prisoners, or we are going to separate them? That is my question.
Okay.
But if the bill is not talking about that, then we are not addressing the issue.
Issa is so obsessed with the UP. So anytime the UP is speaking...
No, but it's if you arrest me, I am a gay, and you go and put me in the same prison.
So obsessed.
Have you really solved any problem?
Issa is crying.
No, you are not aware of me.
No, I'm aware, but I'm saying you are so obsessed with mentioning the MP.
You knows me very well. We are
saying that.
No, it's my brother and it's my senior in school and all these things.
We are all brothers here. I'm saying Issa is obsessed with mentioning the MP.
That's for when you mention MP, especially being mentioned by UP. Then they say we are in opposition and we are supporting government. They say we are supporting government.
But why should Bagbin also... When you're making your analysis, don't bring the two parties.
No, the thing is that...
we need to bring them.
Even to compare the NDC with...
At least NDC is telling us that they have made a conscious effort of amendment and all these things, but let us also get to the table of the president. Let us get to the president and let's see whether you sign it.
This one is coming from Kofi.
Let's see whether the president will sign it.
On Facebook it says, I'm DJ Kofi Ketekre of Sankore Infantim. Please, you do a fantastic, great job. Please keep it up. The good work. Thank you. Eric says, so you want them to be there and be intimidated. What kind of posture is this? The evacuation situation. Do I have some few messages that I can do before we go? But don't forget that this flash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Still Phones, Papa Pathy. Let me see if I can engage some of the messages that have come through. This one is a long one, I'm not sure. OPK Patriotic Voices also says, regards to honorable incoming, Ghana's currency is the worst currency in West Africa and the continent now under the bad leadership of Mahama and NDC government. So no wonder prices of goods and services keeps on increasing. Cocoa farmers not getting monies for their cocoa. 24-hour economy, one job, 3 people missing in action. Women's bank missing in action. Teachers and nurses automatic posting missing in action. High utility tariffs, etc. So we must resist this oppressor's rule by voting for Dr. Digitalization, Baumia, and NPP MPs in 2028 to save Ghana, he means to say. Let me go to the next one. Dear KMJ, you're welcome back. Okay, go back, go down. You're welcome back, but I'm disappointed in my own man as I failed to read messages. KMJ, the June 3rd disaster. Forgive us. Sometimes when we come here, the messages and the interaction in the studio is overwhelming sometimes. So when we don't read your messages, don't take it personal, okay? Forgive us. Israel loves to read from all of you, so he will definitely do that. Don't worry. KMJ, the June 3rd disaster is still very fresh in our minds, but Ghana, as a country, we are not proactive, but reactive, which transcends successive governments. By the way, I am disappointed in the Attorney General for not prosecuting Afinyo for gratuitously slapping a police officer, and Afinyo is still throwing his weight around. The AG is cherry picking in his prosecution. prosecutions. I am still reminding you of the mining going on in Mirawa Forest Reserve. Good morning, Chasi Champong in Sashi, Umjebre, and the BBNA. I'm telling you,
they are not here for anything.
Yes, reset agenda. Akosi Gariba in Tamale says, KMJ, the original LGBTQ bill shouldn't be changed because it was passed unanimously in Parliament. Changing it now would be hypocritical and dishonest on the part of the NDC administration, the NDC and settings. Next one, please. This one says, Musa Abato in Asawasi says, Minority Leader Afinyo Maken has confirmed the NPP's long-standing support for LGBTQI issues when he was on record to have said a law that imprisons people for their sexual orientation or who they choose to love does not protect society. Muslims, Christians, and members of other religious groups are watching closely. Well, for the records, he said his accounts were compromised, so he didn't say that. Bottom line. Let me go to Master Planner. I need some clarifications on the signing of this LGBTQ plus bill. So, in the absence of the president, can the vice president sign the bill? The way the NDC used this LGBTQ plus bill for campaign in 2024 elections, I don't expect them to be telling us these stories. If President Mahama is really serious about this bill, like he was in opposition, I am sure he would have even signed it digitally from UK before he even gets to Ghana. Just give time, some time. Master Planner sent in that, and I strongly believe that he's the only person as at this moment that will be able to sign that. In his absence, maybe based on incapacitation, or if it's not in his sane mind to do so, then that's the vice president is acting as the president, then she can actually do that. So yes, under the circumstances, the president has the sole mandate to do that. And I'm sure some of our lawyers would help us if we're getting it wrong. Now, let me go on the next message over here. It says, Sami Wachina Samankasi says, the recent passage of the LGBTQ plus bill has raised several questions. What is the justification for the swift passage of this bill, which has sparked intense debate between the Speaker of Parliament and the majority? What are the facts surrounding the removal of 32 clauses from the original bill and the passage with only 34 members of Parliament? Why was the bill passed without the knowledge of the Speaker? What was the reason behind pressuring former President Akufo-Addo to sign the bill with the clauses intact? The silence of key stakeholders, including civil society organizations, clergies, and the Catholic Bishop Conference and traditional leaders, is concerning. Is the NDC seeking to deceive the public for political gain? Let me end there. He has a lot of others that, because of other messages, I will not be able to read. This one says, good morning. Please, I need a clarification on the LGBTQ bill, where the amendment made by the only NDC MPs, or where the amendment made by the only NDC MPs or committee comprising both NDC and MPP. And that's Albert Imperial Quarters in Second D, who sent in.
He wants a clarification whether the amendment,
the minority cannot tell us that they are not privy to this amendment.
KMG, let me make this clear. Not that the amendment that we are talking about, some of them are wrong for them to do so.
Yeah.
But we are talking of principle. How you spoke, because those amendments that we are talking about, they were proposed under the 8th Parliament. The NDC stood up through some judge, told them that there is nothing like amendment. They shouldn't amend anything. So we want you, by principle, when you argue that there was no need for those amendments,
stick to that.
You stick to that.
KMG.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
That is our argument.
No, but there's a saying that it's only a fool who doesn't change his mind.
No, Richard.
Only a fool who doesn't change his mind.
I know how he says that.
KMG.
You hear both parties.
This amendment is not, it's like as though this amendment has been done by the NDC. The amendment is done at the committee level. Of which the MPP has representation
in there,
So to sit here to pretend as though
it was foisted on them.
No, I didn't listen to him. I listened to him. I did listen to him. Okay? And so if there's any blame on the amendment, it should be placed squarely on the committee responsible for that amendment. And like Richard said, if we all think that there's something wrong with it, because there's back forth on this issue, we will have to stick to the speaker's call to reconsider, so that everybody will have his head on.
I said it's only United Party. It is only United Party, a centrist, pragmatic party that can solve this problem.
Yeah. And it's the UP party.
It is the UP. That is why we are telling you that these two people cannot take us anywhere.
I just want to wish.
NPP, NDC, they can't take us anywhere.
Let me take this opportunity to wish the General Secretary of the NDC a belated happy birthday. He had his birthday yesterday.
When yesterday?
Yesterday. I'm also a June month, so
okay.
Yours is coming. The same. Yes, my is coming. Today is our brother Elembele KK's birthday. So wish them well. We
Deputy CEO for
Mirrors Commission.
Mirrors Commission.
Yeah, they are all chopping bellies this week.
Hey, you know Kumasi.
Other parties that
Kumasi.
They do well to invite all of us.
Well, unfortunately,
the entire NDC machinery was in Kumasi.
Unfortunately, on principle, the entire MPP machinery too was there. Unfortunately,
that's just a delegation.
I don't celebrate birthday.
Oh, okay.
I do sober reflections on my birthday.
Okay.
And so
no, he does.
I do
send Momo to us.
You saw Kumasi. You saw Kumasi.
Private jet and things.
Have you
defending private jets.
I'm saying that Bawumia has written to the MPP to quit those who went on that. You saw this man. No, it's not a fake letter.
No, that's not law. That's law. You wish to come back again and try the second time.
To punish those who attended the funeral. But his running mate was there.
For the MPP.
No, but Bawumia hasn't come out to deny.
No, but he's a communicator.
I'm saying Bawumia hasn't come out to deny. I'm saying that Bawumia has come out to deny several things.
What an in-law
funeral. What an in-law funeral.
This one is gold.
It's everywhere.
So when you are
thank you so much, Chama, for coming as well. And thanks to all of you who tuned in and sent your messages. If we're not able to do all the messages, forgive us. Hopefully, we'll be back tomorrow to do some more. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, folks, Papa Parthi. News Flash was proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, folks, Papa Parthi. Coming up, Esiedo the Golden Girl has got some very interesting conversations on trends. Nathaniel Ato will be here for the sports and the big interview this morning. Israel I will have a conversation with lawyer Oliver Bakker. Papa will be in the studio for us to have a sit down with him. You don't want to miss any of that. There's more coming out there. I am very livid about the game yesterday. I'm extremely livid about it.
Why? Do you really think we stand a chance in this World Cup with this kind of attitude?
I am not excited about what we did yesterday.
It is so abysmal.
We have ended the game.
Abysmal.
We have ended the game as one goal. I mean, what is this?
Even scoring one goal was problematic. You got that one goal, so you couldn't protect it.
But you know, we've always not been able to protect our goals.
Oh, but Blaster. I agree with the president that we are not going to spend one city. We won't spend one city on sponsoring anybody to go and support them. So it will be waste of resources.